What's up, guys? What's up, guys? What's up? What's up? What's up? It's been long since I did a video. As I promised, I never do videos unless there's something sensible and tangible to talk about. I don't like doing those silly videos or so and so is close to signing based on rumors. So I waited for Nunes to sign. I waited for Doku to sign. Now Palmer is going. Business is business. Some people are crying. I'm not crying. I don't know what people are crying about, but we'll discuss that in a few minutes. Maybe I'm heartless, but let's go on. Let me just welcome my friend Carl. I'm going to speak very slow and very clear so that everybody can hear these days. So I'll not be speaking very fast. I'll be speaking slow and clear so we don't have a miscommunication. So Carl, welcome. First of all, so
You're
this
breaking
video
up,
was
Patrick.
going to.
I don't know why.
I'm breaking up. You can hear me.
I hear you now. It's good now. Okay, it's good. Maybe it's
Yeah.
Good evening, Patrick.
Yeah. Good evening. We're gonna talk about Nunes. That was the original post. Now we've added Palmer leaves for Chelsea also as part of the post. So we'll start with Nunes. Then the Palmer stories there. So Carl, how have you been, man? We haven't spoken to each other since the game we played
I've been
against
well. I've been
Sheffield.
busy. I've been very, very busy. I did the show, the preview show for Sheffield. I think you enjoyed that. When I did on Saturday, I think was it? Yeah, it was Friday or Saturday. And since then, I've just been watching what's going on with the transfers and everything. I'm happy they made the deal, the good transaction. That's what
You were not happy about Nunes.
No,
All of us
I'm
were
like,
not happy.
make the transaction, do a deal that they can't refuse, right? The whole having the Taylor Howard Bellis as part of the deal was a good deal, right? Get the guy 5 years, 50% sell on clause, 50% sell on clause. That's a sweetener. Good deal. Good deal. Good deal. Good player, Matthias Nunes. I love him. And I like what he did. I like the courage, the conviction, the belief in yourself, the fact that you want to move. I like it. Some people are crying, saying, oh, he's going to be like Cancelo. That's nonsense. We need to stop this sentimental stuff. This is a big boys game. You're in the big leagues. You're in the big boy leagues. Okay? You just won the treble, European champions. What do you expect to happen? City come calling, he's going to want to leave. He will want to leave. So kudos to the club and to Cheeky for doing a good job, man.
Nah, big up, man. For a minute there, it was looking slightly unlikely. As Veto was in the background waiting, saying he's gonna see what's gonna happen. But let's be honest, it was sweaty bum time, as they say. Everybody was sweating because we're like, Friday is close. Friday after tomorrow is Friday, and we're like, what are you doing? And then Jack, the guy who we rely on, comes in this morning early at 6 o'clock and says City might walk away. Then the most random of sources, the one I shared, a random guy who is from France, just says straightforward, City and Wolves have agreed Nunes is going to be a City player. And I retweeted, and we started making jokes about this French guy saying we don't really trust him or waiting for Fab. Within squeaky bum time. Sorry, my bad, big dog. I said squeaky bum time. Anyway, my bad. But this guy from France, Veta, broke it, and I sent it to the group. And I remember Carl asked me, "Is this guy reliable?" I went to somebody's like, "This guy is reliable in France. He's tier 1 in France." But it's so random for him to tweet about City. But he tweeted, and he didn't say much. He tweeted and he said it's done immediately. It's done. It's immediately. The funny thing is, you know how we follow the pins all the time, the sources. I went to the group and told Carl, I was like, look, they have just signed a center back from Girona. Wolves have closed the deal. That's after the guy says the deal with Nunes is close. I was like, this is too close. Immediately, Fab comes out with his eyes, just with the eyes and the flags clicking. Somebody comes in, deal is done, and then we're like, there we go. Fab is like, here we go. So sometimes some of these Twitter journalists from other countries, they're reliable, because let's not forget the guy who broke Haaland was not even the English media. I remember I took from him, we were laughing, me and Carl, some random guy. Remember Carl, I still follow him. Some random guy is the one who broke that Haaland is going to be a City player. So it's not always this English journalist. So Fab even goes as far as crediting this guy. So look, Veta, what do you think? Let me first of all, how have you been feeling this week? And I know you've been recovering, and I hope you're recovering well. But how have you felt as a City fan throughout this week, looking at the Nunes story? Nunes is not going for training today. Again in the morning, a Wolves page was pissed off saying Nunes has refused to go in the train. So this guy was serious. It's not like the Kane thing. And you know what? People have insulted him, as Carl says, that he's not doesn't have a good attitude. Somebody came out, his captain came to defend him, Carl. I sent you the video of it, and you guys, I don't know if you saw the video. The captain defended him. He's like, this guy is a good kid. He's a
Yeah.
good guy. And his head has been turned. It's not his fault. The same thing I could have done. It's like, okay, I'm at the moves, but I'm not saying I would, but I would have done the same thing. So how do you feel as a City fan all this throughout this week? But how do you feel now you've got Nunes in the team?
Yeah, it's funny, man. And first, shout out to you, shout out to Gunnalorian. Thanks for having me on the channel, man. It's been a minute. But yeah, the fact that I'm recovering, right? Like that's stupid quad tendon injury. But the fact that I'm recovering and I can pick my moments obviously throughout a workday, I got more time to kind of like reflect and and look at what's happening within the football world. And it's when you take a step back and you look at things, you see how reactionary it really gets. Like any little bit of news, that first 15 minutes, it's like wildfire. Everyone's reacting to it. And then like 30 minutes or an hour later, there's some other news that comes out and then we're reacting to it. I thought, and I said this in the group chat, as you mentioned, I'm like, I know a lot of things are going to be going down until the final hour. Like, let's remember last season when our deals were getting done, and even with regards to the fantastic, amazing player that we have in Kanji. Like those were late hours. Those were like last minute things, and he was our last signing late in that window, and it ended up being debuted in Champions League. Like it's one of those things. So I was just really calm that the club, that the board, Tiki, we're going to figure it out. And I know that there's a little bit of a chess game. There's a little bit of a cat and mouse game with regards to negotiations and what gets leaked and what gets talked about. So
Thank you. Do you know what you've said is smart, Carl? What Veta said is smart. Do you know why I'm saying this, Carl? And Veta, what you've said, you pinpoint the smart thing, Carl. If you read the deal clause of Veta, it says the deal was closed within the hours. So after your man tweeted, it was within the hours of this today. Guess what? At 6 a.m., Jack tweets. Last night he tweeted via Mail Sport. Then today he tweets via his account saying City will walk away. And then Wolves negotiate in the late hours because Austin says it was within the late hours that have negotiated and closed. The negotiations opened again after they closed. So you're right. Let's not forget Jack is also one of the mouthpieces for the club.
Yeah.
Do you think they actually put it out there saying we're gonna walk away, and then Wolves are like, we've caught the bluff, but the window is closing, and Nunes is still not playing, and he's not happy. Is it worth having a player that's not happy? But we also need the money. Remember, they also need the money.
Yes, yeah. So it's oh man, it's so much posturing. There's so much bluffing. There's so much poker face, And the thing with regards to this whole deal, we obviously wanted the player. The player profile was identified. We wanted him. With regards to Wolves, they obviously had a value that they set, and then it was just a matter of getting to the right number. And what I like is that we're staying true to what's made us successful over the years. I'm not talking early settings, obviously, when it was known that we had the large amount of money and we were available to buy anything. And I think we'd be honest to admit that early on we were probably overspending with regards to some of the targets we went after. But again, like Carl mentioned, we're European English champions. We don't need to be overspending for anyone. If anything, players that want to come here need to show their commitment and then make it clear that they want to come to City. And I do.
Isn't this what players used to do for? This is what players used to do for Madrid back in the days. Remember Beckham and them. But that's why Beckham was thrown out of the United dressing room. I think they used to behave like this. Players would stop showing up for training just for Madrid and Barcelona.
And again, I'm not going to fault the player because again, a player's career is finite. They got to make choices whether they want to pursue trophies, they want to pursue have consistent playing time, or maybe they want to pursue and get the bag. Like there's many motivations for certain players, and to see what we did this last season, but even greater than that, even with the level of winning, this winning culture that we have at the club, you can see why a player like him would want to join us. So I like that he made it clear to the club. I think it's very similar, except he showed more of a commitment to want to make the move than Harry Kane, right? It's similarities in terms of I want to go to City, but in terms of commitment, this is where I'm going to end up. I don't care what you end up doing. I like how he ended up showing that
Vader,
level of commitment.
yeah.
Yes, go ahead.
I think Vader, the key thing we have to remember here is let's follow the timeline. Right? This guy was training with Wolves before the offer came in from City, the first offer. Okay. When the offer now came in and then Wolves rejected the offer, he steps. He steps. Right? Because like, guy, I trained with you, I've been doing well. My first game against United, I did well. Offer's not coming, I'm still training. Offer's not coming, I'm still training. Offer comes in, I train, you reject, I step. What do you want to do? Keep training? No.
Yeah.
Step.
Right. Right. And I applaud him for it.
There's just a lot of sentimental stuff going around. I don't understand. Cole Palmer is leaving. Oh, he was born in Manchester. Oh, let go. 45 million? What are we talking about here?
No, we're gonna end the Palmer now. Let me just read the comments here. There is Ethan. It says no Palmer. All I'm saying is Doku will have all the time in the world to cook. That is true. Squeaky bum time, Pat. Okay, sorry, I said the wrong thing. Think Palmer made the wrong choice. He could get less playing time at Chelsea, done City, but 45 million. That's good deal. We got back our money for Nunes. Well, that's a good thing. In a window where prices seem utterly crazy, City have found real value again. 47 million for Nunes seems cheap. It is cheap to everybody. It is cheap. Palmer has some very poor advisors. Bad career move. I am thinking the same thing too. But you never know. It's Chelsea. I don't know. Maybe it's Maybe Pochettino has promised him something. But let's not forget. Ten Hag promised Mason Mount that he'll be a very important player at United, and look what's happening to him. Okay, do you think we do you think we have all our business done now? Veda, what do you think?
Ooh, that's a tough question, man. That's a tough question. The window's not closed. The window's not closed. And again, I don't know, and sorry for joining late. I don't know if you went through the list of players that are still kind of rumored to leave.
No, we haven't. You can. And do you know what? Let me say something. If this is just me, if my boy Paqueta is found not guilty, I wouldn't still mind. Isn't it, Carl? I wouldn't still mind having Paqueta still walk into this squad of ours.
By January, this should be over, right? Whether it's guilty or innocent. We'll know. Back money for him.
And his lease closes next year.
And so the money will go down by January.
Yeah. Let's go back. Let's for peace of mind. Let's not have any dark clouds over his head. Let's wait until things are clear.
70 million. Easy. They want 70 million. Would you go if you were City right now? The window's about to close. Would you just go and splash that 70 million? That here you go. Take it or leave it.
No. Let's make sure everything's cleared up first and go back for him in January. Let's make sure.
I'm not about Easy, not Paqueta. I'm saying Easy, who the Crystal Palace.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Would you still go right now and after this Nunes and just say Easy, take it or leave it?
Easy. Yeah.
Do we need him though? Do we need him?
I think we do.
Buy them all. I think
you would use him. He would be very useful. I think he would.
If we're gonna go back for your guy Paqueta in January. Do we?
But he's a if though. That's if I don't know. But it looks like he's been cleared, and West Ham might have played a blind. It's their own betting company that reported him. That's funny. That's their own sponsor that reported him. I don't get it. And they're playing him. You know that, right? And he's scored for them, and he's assisted.
Yeah, he did.
I
and his reaction after scoring, he unleashed on that one. He's
not happy. He's definitely not happy at all. So Nunes is Nunes is a brilliant player. It's a brilliant player. We were linked with him. I remember when even Liverpool wanted him. A lot of teams wanted him before he went to Wolves.
Yeah,
remember, Carl?
Yep, they did. And here we are.
Here's another one. Barry says we sold Riyad Mahrez for 30, then got 45 for Palmer. You see that, people? We are forgetting. Sad to see Palmer go, as I think he could have been a top player, but 15 more than Mahrez. And then let's not forget, we sold that kid Trashford. Is it Trashford for 19 million or 20 million? Then Carlos Borges for 15 million. Guys, this is money that hasn't been tapped yet.
Did you say Trashford?
Trafford. No, Trafford. Because I'm used to calling Trafford. That's okay. Trafford, I think went for 20 million or 19 million, which is also good money. 45, good money for Palmer. 45 is good money. You know what? I believe Carl and Veta, if we squeeze them for 50, these guys were paying 50. I think they were paying 50. I think they were going to pay. Look at how fast they move for 35.
Is I mean, Why are Chelsea spending 50 million, 45 million with 5 add-ons, 50 million on Cole Palmer?
Because Carl,
I'm
Carl,
serious.
no, Carl. Let me also tell you this. I think people are not realizing. Remember when I wrote a tweet that Man City is becoming the feeder for world football, and some people were like, "Stop it! Stop acting as if the world rotates against Man City." I tweeted it. I can go and do that tweet again. If you look at it, right, look at Lavia. Left City, people went and dig and started fighting for Lavia. Very soon, just watch Idozi. Have you seen Idozi, Carl, what he's doing? I sent you a video, you didn't see it. I tagged you in a video. Carl, Idozi is cooking people in the championship. He's making grown men sit down on the floor. So, you know what's going to happen? These kids are going to be sought after. All these kids are going to... Don't forget Douglas Luiz belongs to us. Do you remember seasons ago, Carl, Douglas Luiz, Arsenal, and everybody was fighting for him? Liverpool was still asking for Douglas Luiz. So, as much as at City, we see Carlos Borges as somebody who cannot get in the team. We see Sancho as somebody who cannot get the team. Palmer. These kids are worth getting into the other teams, Carl and Veta. Palmer is worth going to United and still starting in that United team. So I think, to be honest with you, I think very soon when you go to City, after this Palmer signing, Carl, this might be the stage where when you go to City looking for the academy kids, they will charge you a lot.
This is an interesting time. Sorry, Carl, go ahead.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. They're setting the benchmark for academy kids. This is the revenue model, right? This is it. This is a revenue model where an academy kid with a couple of games goes for 45 million pounds. Imagine that. And then you go and buy an experienced Portuguese international, by the way. Portuguese international who plays midfield for Wolves, their best player for 47.
And Portugal. He also plays for Portugal.
It's insane.
This is I want to point this out, and when we look at the academy players and the career choices that they make, we also have to take note that other academy players are looking at what they do and decide to do. When we can all remember when it was Foden and Sancho and they had to make the decision at the academy level. Foden
and Brahim Diaz, the three.
Yeah, very good point. Yeah. And obviously Sancho went abroad. He was like, let me go and get my chances there. Foden sticking around. I think the same observation is going to be placed on, okay, look at what Cole Palmer just decided to do. And the fact that he chose Chelsea, there's going to be a lot of eyes, especially at the academy level, to see whether that's the move. Is it for me to pursue, more playing time, or for me to go after the bag, or is it more, let me pick a club where I'm going to get my development and get my skill set to increase my value, because obviously he had other options other than Chelsea. So it's going to be an interesting time. I think there's going to be a lot of eyes remaining on Cole Palmer. Not the fact that he's over at Chelsea, but for future academy players on what's the next move. If I don't get into the first team at City, how should I navigate this? And hopefully Palmer made the right choice. Hopefully he made the right choice.
Look, for me, I can say this with Chest. If he is given game time, I think he'll cook at Chelsea, and he'll do very well. And I think he will. Yeah. And you guys, I think he'll get it. It's not difficult. Modric is not popping, Carl. They were thinking of loaning him, but I think it's pride. They don't like Modric, and some of the guys they are not doing very well. So Palmer, all he has to show is, I'm pretty sure Portugal will know that this kid, like, come on, the goals he scored are amazing in those thing. Ansu Fati to Brighton on loan. Believe it or not, guys, I was actually thinking we would have kidnapped this because Ansu Fati wants to leave Barcelona, Carl. I was thinking he could be great on our right-hand side or left. I think he could be. But anyway, he's going to Brighton. So it looks like Brighton really wanted some superstar in that team. That's why they couldn't afford Palmer. I don't know why Brighton didn't want to afford Palmer 45, yet they asked for ridiculous prices themselves. Big up, lads. How you doing? Chelsea are spending money like a drunken sailor in the dock. To be honest with you, as long as they keep spending on our academy and our used-up players, I am happy with it. But Chelsea right now, this is where people are going to say this. When these FFP are coming after certain teams, and Pedro teams will be pointing at Chelsea, say, how come you haven't come after Chelsea yet? Idozi is skillful. Idozi was my boy. I wanted Idozi to make it at City, but anyway, it's the game. Nowadays in the market, you need to pay for potential. So if you think he's going to be worth it, then pay up. To be honest with you, a 21-year-old Palmer has the potential to become a 100 million player. So you're right. Maybe they've paid for the potential, and maybe as much as City fans think we finessed Chelsea, in a few years, we'll be the ones who say, oh my God, we let go of one of the best players in the world. You never know. Carabao Cup draw, actually. I don't know. How is the draw happening for the Carabao Cup? Has it been done yet?
Are the games finished?
I don't know. I didn't even watch the game, to be honest with you. Also, I think it's
I'm
for
not
the
really
five.
bothered about the Carabao Cup, man.
Yeah, me too. Like last season, we said bin it, and it was binned, wasn't it? Also, I think for the five, because we're selling to Chelsea, inflated price after how well Arsenal did with Jesus and Zinchenko. Go ahead, Carl.
Yeah, I'm not too bothered about the Carabao Cup, man. I just, I know a lot of people want it. I'm just like, I'm not too.
This is what I said. I think Nunes is better than Rice. I said it. I think he is. Rice. Yeah.
I think he is. I think he is. And I think Arsenal paying 135 million for him versus Nunes for what, 40 something or 50. Yeah.
Yeah, but do you know Vita? I was watching him, and I remember I was watching him at Sporting. He used to be so he can play DM AM and he can play DMM, and he plays all the middle ones, number 6, number 8, number 10. He can also play number 10. At Sporting, they used to play him as a number 10. He was the creator, by the way, and goal scorer. So basically, this guy is not there as people think, saying, "Oh, this guy is here for Rodri." Yes, he can play that role, and he plays it very well because he's very fast and strong. But what I noticed is this guy, the way he carries the ball from the back and to attack, it's so fast, and the way he dribbles, I was like, nah.
Patrick, this is the thing. Go ahead, Carl.
Oh. So what I'm gonna do tonight, get back from my meeting tonight, is I'm gonna go and watch week number 1, United versus Wolves, Matheus Nunes. Mm-hmm. Go watch that. I'm telling you, man, the boy cooked.
And watch a few Sporting games in the Champions League when they were there. Yeah.
The boy cooked. He kept penetrating that United midfield like hot knife through butter. Mm-hmm. We should go watch it and see what happens.
So don't kill me in the comments, but if I have my choice of spending what I spent versus a Jude Bellingham, I'm taking my man. Because, and I'm not saying they're like for like, I'm not saying that they're the same profile of player, but what you just mentioned, Patrick, in terms of driving with the ball, and Carl just reiterated week 1 with what he did against United, that holding the ball possession, that taking on a defender and driving towards that final third, Jude is given a lot of praise because of how he does that within his style of play. For what we would have had to spend on Jude, I'm happy with quote unquote our plan B or our next player up to fill that role, because I think he's going to cook with that type of profile, carrying the ball. And
I think he's here for. I think if you look at it, right, you can see the similarity with Paqueta. Paqueta also grabs the ball. It's just that I've noticed, like, Paqueta grabs the ball. Paqueta will drive in, but his dribbles are slow. He gets fast, slow. Mm-hmm. What I've noticed is, as I told people, Pep was looking, I think, for players that can take the ball and start running through players. And no matter how much pressure you're giving through them, they'll dribble. That's the same thing with Kovacic. But the only difference between Kovacic and Paqueta and this guy and Paqueta, the passes they are throwing. Because I saw this guy, Carl, at Wolves. Obviously, they were missing against Man United. He was whipping balls like this, Carl. They were bending like De Bruyne and reaching Wolves players, and they were just hitting the post and missing. There's one he did an assist where he curled it from all the way in the center. I was like, oh my God. That's why I wrote the message after I watched all those videos. It's like, this guy is a Portuguese De Bruyne. Because what he's threading, and I'm telling you, Veda, the way he was threading the ball, Carl, he was threading balls, cutting them, and it's the speed. It reminded me when De Bruyne first came, and we're doing counterattacks. This guy was doing the same thing. So I'm like, oh, I see what he's going for. I think Pep now is going for people who can break through you. No matter what, there's nothing you can do. Same way as Paqueta. He could break through you no matter what you're doing. Look at Doku. Doku rides challenges like that, nothing, Cow. That's what even this guy does. Paqueta and this guy and Nunes, they ride challenges as if they're nothing. They don't fall down. They'll continue riding the challenge. They'll dribble past you. So, man, this Nunes signing, I remember Liverpool fans were crying for this guy. They were crying and begging for this guy. And they were supposed to buy him for 45 million then. And that's the time when he joined Wolves. And then Pep said I liked him. Remember, Pep said this was one of the best midfielders I've ever seen, but we couldn't afford him because there was no space.
It's
I'm
not
telling you, this is
only
the yeah.
it's
Go ahead.
not only good football business, but it's good team business. Like player squad bit. Like it's when we look at the depth and we look at some of the options that we can now do in terms of subs or rotation, which is really important. The versatility from Nunes is going to be great. And I'm looking forward to when Carl goes into the data
Yeah,
or
yeah.
and when Carl goes into the kitchen and then he starts looking things up. I look forward to even hearing more about that.
And Patrick, congratulations to Bernardo Silva. Just had a baby, so congratulations to him.
Congrats to
Hey,
Bernardo Silva, man,
From
and
Blue City fan and pitch points in Data Games. Congrats to him. Glad that
congrats
he's
to him, man.
with us. Incredible.
Yeah, maybe that's why some of the games he was missing is to be with his wife, Tika assembling a squad to improve on the 2023 treble squad. The City team right now looks unreal. Now, that's a good comment, Kawan Veta. With Nunes in that squad, and then De Bruyne returns, this is a dangerous squad. Do you know what somebody said from Spain? He's like, man, it's unfair. Just give them the Champions League. It's like, Nunes has joined. Just give them the Champions League. Because people are forgetting Doku hasn't cooked yet. Huh?
Well, just
So
think
now,
about the bench, right? When Kevin comes back, right? Think about that bench, right? Because in that
including
bench,
Phillips.
yeah,
I'm saying
you could,
including Phillips, yeah.
yeah, you could have Nunez, Phillips, you could have Foden, you could have Doku, you could have Alvarez on that bench. You could have Stones, Ake, Diaz, Walker on the bench. Think about that.
yeah.
And Carl, this is just me. If there is ever a time, let's say there is a counter attack, and by some luck, it's not Bernardo Silva in the team is on the bench, because Bernardo, he's very slow, isn't he? He slows things down. Carl, if there's ever a time where he plays Rodri, Nunes, and De Bruyne, and there's a counter attack, and both of these are coming at you with Doku this side, and Haaland and Alvarez maybe is thrown in there, just give up. just give up, because this guy, I'm telling you, Veta, I'll send you the clip. I was like, every clip, it's this guy when he's played against other teams, Wolves as bad as they are. This guy is driving through midfields, including our own midfield. Do you know what? This is what amazes me. Same as Paqueta, where there was a clip of him roasting our midfield. I like players that even Rice. That's why I used to like Rice. Carl knows I used to like Rice because of that. When he's playing top class midfielders, he looks comfortable and he still grills them. His team is losing, but he still grills them. That's the type of player you want. And I think there was times where we're doing a counter. Some of these players are not fast enough. Carl used to say it about Gundogan. Even though Gundogan, I respect him, he used to say sometimes they were too slow. Gundogan's too slow, and Bernardo, when they're doing a counter, you find De Bruyne is already above them. And the time Gundogan and Bernardo are catching up, De Bruyne is saying who else to give. Obviously, gives it to Haaland these days. But back in the days, you find De Bruyne has done a counter and he's on his own. Only Foden used to be next to him. But this time, there are some players that can catch up. And with De Bruyne getting older, I think you need people like Nunes also who can carry the ball like De Bruyne and see a pass. I'm telling you, I'll send you the clip, guys, and I'll put the clip on Twitter for the guys who are on Twitter. You will see why this guy has been picked. The passing is unbelievable. These bend passes, I'm telling you, let me see. What's going to happen to Phillips? Carl, would you like to answer this?
I don't know. The answer is we don't know. And he's going to be there. And hopefully gets a game time. That's it. I mean, we should stop hounding this guy. Seriously.
Leave him. I think we should just leave him. At this point in time, we should just leave him.
Yeah, there's a whole City fan base culture around this guy that I don't like. Leave the boy alone, Joe. If you are playing on the team, will you make first team? Leave the boy alone. Let him work his way through fitness. Let him work his way back to the first team. If he works his way back to the first team, it's a benefit to us. Leave the guy alone.
Do you think he would be useful in the team with Nunes in there and all these players?
If he gets the confidence that he needs, there's a player in there. The manager has to figure it out. I don't like this narrative that a lot of our fan base are towards this guy, and it's driven by certain accounts and certain people, right? About this guy won't get a game time, won't do this. Let the guy try. Let him try. Let him try. If we get the Calvin Phillips of Leeds, it's all to our benefit.
Yeah,
it's an extra body that we have.
Yeah, he did talk about confidence in his thing. I think in his documentary, Palmer will not play at Chelsea. I wouldn't say 100%. Chelsea is not that great. FFP means absolutely nothing when you look at Chelsea and saying spending. I understand why it's technically okay due to accounting reasons, but it shows what a joke FFP is. FFP is dead. It was meant for PSG, City, then it failed. Then they're like, oh, you know what? Let's just kill. Which should be our next purchase? Not really, but maybe you never know. Nunes is Kovacic with goals. He's got the striker mentality. That's the thing. I saw him, and he likes scoring goals like Rodri. I noticed that. Will Nunes be available for Fulham game? When is the Fulham game? Is it Sunday or Saturday?
Saturday, no?
Is it Saturday?
I thought it was.
It depends on when his medical is, but I think you see him in just the bench or sitting in the stands. You never know. I am not sure on where Wolves Nunes fits in our team. However, we have Man City Pep. Okay, we have Man City Pep's Nunes now, and he will be elite as he has all the technical skills for Pep to mold into a player he wants. Pep wanted this guy at a point in time. I think we were linked with him before he went to Wolves also. This guy is very good. And if Pep goes and say you're one of the best midfielders he's ever seen and you're playing for Sporting, you're very good. Trust me, this guy will fit into this Pep team. Guys, this thing of saying players can fit in the Pep team, I think have to stop. Because I think Pep, he sees something and he'll bring you in. The only thing is sometimes you really have to have Posa, as Carl said, which Jude, I think, doesn't have, because Jude plays hoofball. I've noticed that.
We play Saturday.
Yeah, cool. So, anyway, guys, just closing this. So, is there any buyback on Palmer? I doubt Chelsea would do that, or any sell on close. I think this is a straight out you're gone deal out of the window, isn't it?
I think so, but
I think so.
Howard Bellis deal is incredible. It's an incredible deal. I mean, the sweetener was always Bellis.
Which one? The Doyle one? The Doyle 50%.
Tommy Doyle. I'm sorry, Tommy Doyle. Right? The Tommy Doyle.
I think he will cook at Wolves. I think he will cook at Wolves.
I mean, to think about right, $5 million with a 50% sell-on clause. And that's just amazing.
It's amazing.
So the $5 million allows Wolves to say, okay, we'll let Nunes go for the price that you quoted, and the City say, okay, we won't charge you for Doyle, but we'll have a 50% sell-on clause. So if he improves and makes, and it's now worth 80 million, you get 40. You paid 5, we get 40.
Right.
It's crazy, man. Oh, by the way, Wolves, you get 47 million too.
It is, and we got, and as Daniel says here, one of our members says, we got 45 for Palmer and bought Nunes for 47. This club is elite, fantastic business. It is fantastic, amazing business, guys. There is ridiculous prices being quoted there. Phillips doesn't fit into the Pepsi team. Let's give him time. Carl says, let's give him this season. I think this season, if things don't work out, we will see movement. But in the meantime, let's keep him.
How do we know Phillips doesn't fit into the Pep team when he hasn't played a number of games? How can we make that judgment?
Maybe that's why. I don't mind this City team suffer throughout the season. I love to see how this team overcomes challenges. I think bringing Nunes brings a different dynamic. Bringing Doku brings a different dynamic to this team. I think right now this team is different. And you know what? Big up to Sergio Gomez for staying, Carl. Big up to Sergio Gomez for saying, all right, I would like to play attacking and I would like to stay. I think he'll be used, and I would have loved to see him sometimes, but I think he'll be used in certain games. And big up to you, Sergio Gomez. You've been a City fan for so long and you stayed. People hated you. They wanted you gone. Some people said you're going to Burnley. Some people said you're going somewhere. Sergio Gomez has stayed and he's still in the winning team every time during training. Big up to my legend wearing the 21, which used to be owned by David Silva. I think Nunes was going to wear the 27 car. At Wolves, he looks like he was wearing the 27. That's the one that was worn by Joe Cancelo, who is delayed right now at the airport.
We'll see what happens.
Such a nice player, but just the attitude everywhere he goes. But such a nice player. Doyle is on loan deal, but the 5 million is not an obligation, but an option to buy. Wolves have been looking at Doyle for years, and I'm telling you that they're desperate for him. Yeah, happy for Gomez too. Big up to everybody. Big up to all of you guys. Veta, would you like to shout out your channel and tell people where they can find you on your next show?
You know what, Patrick? The best kept secret on YouTube, man. If fans want to try and find and add to the subs, that would be great. Type in Vader Games TV into the YouTube search and follow your boy. I'm going to be doing a show. I think I'm going to be inspired to do a brief show tomorrow. I don't know in what capacity, but with the transfer window closed, I might do a little something on Why Always Me. And definitely on Sunday, we're going to do CIA intelligent agendas. And we're going to do our week review and preview. And it's going to be our last game before this break, man. So I hope to get a good group of you guys so we can have a good combo to close out the week. But yeah, that's where you can find me.
Nah, big up to Veta, man. Pitch points right now. We're already streaming on pitch points. So pitch points, where True City fan is, you can find pitch points right now as we speak. We're also live on pitch points. The channels always go hand in hand. Veta, pitch points. We are all just same family. We just move together. Clinical, big up to you, Clinical, also on his channel, guys. So go and subscribe to Clinical. Carl, go ahead.
Yeah, just for everyone out there. So tomorrow is a UCL draw. I hope to do a show tomorrow, either me or one of us do a show tomorrow about the UCL draw reaction. I believe Martin is doing a live watch along. And
that's your bag, though. That's your bag, Carl.
Yeah,
that is UCL is your bag.
Isn't
it better?
It is. It is. That's what he lives for, man.
That's your bag. Okay, no, we usually give you that because it's your bag. UCL, there's nobody who beats you in UCL because you always give us the formats of the UCL. You always tell us exactly. So you're always on cooks at the UCL.
I'll do a UCL show tomorrow. I'll do it, and so look out for the graphic for that tomorrow.
Okay, grand. Okay, guys, as you heard, there's going to be a UCL show by Carl, Dr. Professor Carl. Guys, we appreciate you staying with us this late. And guys, I do apologize for not being constant here. It's just I am under intense training at a new job. In about 4 weeks, I'll be cleared. I'll be able to be doing a lot of shows. But when I'm not here, Veta, Carl, and other people always do shows. The Fulham one, I'm at work during the Fulham game, believe it or not. And I don't even know if I can do the preview, but I'm pretty sure the boys will find a way to do a preview. So, guys, I think the medical for Nunes will be tomorrow. Just guessing, and I think he will be registered enough for Fulham. He'll be on the bench with my name. Sorry, boys, I had to deal with the client for work. Now, big up to you, Adam, man. No problem, Adam. Guys, thank you very much. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new. If you want to become a member for a very nice price of 99 cents, if you want to starve for a week for 99 cents, join for the membership. And as I said, guys, the membership money is going straight for all of us advancing our cameras and advancing our finds our mic. Here's Clinical, guys. Go subscribe to Clinical's channel. It's Clinical, the Jamaican citizen. This guy is very good. I love him. I love his channel. He does a bit of gaming. Clinical. I called out Veta for FIFA. Until now, we haven't played. So me and Veta are gonna play the FC 24 when it comes out. So that's where you, me, and Veta are gonna smoke each other on live on Twitch. Now since we've got Doku in FIFA,
now you're back. Now you got your
I'm back because
I
didn't have speed, man. It was poor. It was poor. The City front line is poor. Foden's speed is poor on FIFA. You have no idea, including Real Myers. You know the struggle. Better. So, guys, thank you very much, man. Have a great evening, and that's bye from us.